If you know anything about Meagan Good, then you know she was stamped as one of the most attractive women back in the early 2000s. Whether you know her from Nickelodeon's Cousin Skeeter or wherever else, she graced our TV screens, appearing in numerous television shows and movies, and is considered top-tier beauty, especially within black media. Over the years, she's kept a pretty low profile, and that's because in June of 2012, Meagan got married to movie producer and minister DeVon Franklin. The internet did what the internet does and labeled the relationship couple goals almost immediately, and right away, people began to notice a change in Meagan's once upon a time carefree demeanor. Despite her more private lifestyle, she'd often post pictures and video clips on her social media pages of her relationship, and they'd make guest appearances on shows as well as events speaking on subjects like marriage, faith, and Meagan's new life as a minister's wife. Love was surely brewing on the horizon, but over the last couple of years, fans often picked apart their marriage and noticed something wasn't quite right when Meagan and DeVon slowly decreased the amount of content they'd post of each other. It wouldn't be until December of 2021 that the Franklins had called it quits after 9 years of marriage. Speculations of the two splitting before the big announcement were made months prior, which made us wonder where exactly things went wrong. Love can find you anywhere, and it surely found Meagan in 2009. While on a set of a movie she was filming at the time, Jumping the Broom, DeVon Franklin just so happened to be a producer for the film. Right away, Meagan says DeVon caught her eye. Matter of fact, she said that she knew 9 months before the two began getting serious that he'd be hers. But first, she had to make some adjustments to her habits and overall self. Tired of the mess she was in at the time, and by mess, I mean relationship, she knew she wanted a husband that would make her seriously, and apparently, DeVon was that man. She'd go celibate for months and cut back on drinking in order to prepare for her newly found partner. On the other end, DeVon says that he was celibate for years and that he had a list of what he didn't want in a partner. The list consisted of no drinking, no smoking, and not too much promiscuity, all of which Meagan participated in at the time. Although he had his deal breakers, DeVon was willing to not focus on his list much when it came to Meagan. He wanted to accept her as she is and her as he is. As we know, marriage is about sacrifices in some areas, but Meagan went above and beyond to make sure that the relationship worked. She gave up drinking and smoking little by little and began to tweak her entire image to fit the role of DeVon's wife. Whenever Meagan would step out on red carpets or at an event pre-Devon, we'd see her. Gorgeous as can be, of course, but also her outfits of choice weren't the most conservative. Pre-marriage, fans noticed Meagan wasn't dressing like how she once was. Even church folks began to criticize her choice of fashion and work-related attire. Like you'd expect, this took a toll on her sense of self, but DeVon made sure to always back his wife up, reassuring her and the public that Meagan could wear whatever she wanted. To me and you, that sounds like a devoted husband standing behind his wife no matter what. But to those that knew him, it didn't sound like something he'd go for. Needless to say, his marriage was not only changing her, but changing him as well. Throughout the years, the two would post videos of themselves together, usually speaking on their faith, daily prayers, and vacations. They even appeared on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday in 2016, where they discussed the ins and outs of marriage and the importance of celibacy. Crediting celibacy for transforming herself and her career, Meagan stated that when in her younger years, she'd oftentimes than not be casted for the role of a sexy or promiscuous character. Being that her career was all she knew, discipline in that aspect of her life was the only type of discipline she had known. Practicing celibacy before DeVon came along was a new kind of discipline she wasn't used to, but was willing to put in the work. With DeVon being a minister, the pressure for Meagan was amped, and she says she started growing distant from the church altogether. Despite her efforts to be a good wife, in some people's eyes, it just wasn't enough. We all know a religious person who's more judgmental than anyone, and for Meagan's case, it was no different. Speaking on her experience within the church, she explains that despite her love for her husband and church altogether, it was becoming difficult for her to genuinely be involved with how she thought a minister's wife should be involved. Her carefree persona, combined with DeVon's more structured approach to marriage, ultimately got the best of them both. Something clearly wasn't quite right in the buttermilk. Suspicions reigned true as it was announced on December 21st via DeVon's IG page with a lengthy caption summing up that they had officially split, but insisted that the love between them would be forever lasting. Meagan's repost of his caption led people to believe that although the love between the two was a forever thing, the two as a union fell short somewhere down the road. Despite their claims of no bad blood, tinfoil hats were tingling even more when it was reported that the two had been split for months prior to the big announcement. 4 months prior, to be exact. When it all boils down to it, it's safe to say that the two overall just weren't compatible for the long run. Meagan's more easygoing nature, combined with DeVon's structured and bullet point styled lifestyle, worked for the time being, but whenever anyone changed their core values to try to be whatever it is they think someone wants you to be, things are destined to come to a halt. The lack of children has also been brought up. Meagan has stated before that she didn't want any kids, and although he's never come out and spoke on whether he did or not, people assume that DeVon, being more so on the religious side, eventually would want children. During a guest appearance on the Drew Barrymore show, Meagan revealed that she never felt pressure to birth any mini-me's by her then husband, but did eventually freeze her eggs a few years back when advised by Dr. Oz during their appearance on the Dr. Oz show. 2021 was the year she had finally planned to unfreeze her eggs and become a mother. But as we know by now, things don't turn out quite the way as planned. Describing herself as a hippie, she says that ever since she got married, she realized she didn't have to lose herself with changing roles, stating, "I never aspired to marriage, I never aspired to motherhood. I was always focused on my career because that's what I knew my whole life." In the beginning of their relationship, Meagan stated that she had to have a talk with God and buckle down on what she truly wanted in a spouse. DeVon, being the potential love of her life before he actually became the love of her life, had his core list of beliefs that he wasn't willing to fold for anyone. That is until Meagan came into the picture. Even more speculations of Meagan being the chaser arose when her supporters and followers began to notice little by little how conservative she had become. As stated before in the video, sacrifices in marriage are to be expected, but all in all, the two core beliefs were just too opposite of each other. Others have noted that maybe the mere thought of being a preacher's wife was what attracted Meagan to DeVon in the first place. Coming from a not so healthy relationship, it's easy to want to do away with your past mess and dive into something you think will fulfill you. Overall, she realized that she could be true to her identity, all whilst being a mother. DeVon's and Meagan's relationship may not have worked out, but the two have kept to their word and still support each other. As of recently, DeVon posted a promo pic of Meagan's new role in her new series, Harlem, that debuted on Amazon Prime on December 3rd. And from the looks of the comment section, no signs of bad blood were detected. We're just happy that these two kids ended on good terms. What do you think went wrong in DeVon and Meagan's relationship? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. And don't forget to stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.